Hello, everyone. Hello, Texans. Welcome to RTIC Cooler Talk. Mark Vandermeer and John Harris with you in the RTIC studio. Where else would we do RTIC Cooler Talk? No other place for it, really. And get your questions in right now as we talk about the Texans at Denver. You ready for this one?
Let's go.
All
Sunday
right.
afternoon. Let's do it.
Let's go. William, how healthy are the corners heading into Sunday? William, great question. We won't really know until we see them line up, right? Jonathan Joseph has been banged up.
Yep.
The thing about J-Joe is he plays hurt so often. He'll play through a lot of things. So he's, questionable? Listed officially as questionable.
The only person that is listed as out is Zach Cunningham.
Everybody else is questionable.
Everybody else is questionable.
Aren't we all questionable, really?
Game time decision.
But J-Joe, look, I think if it's possible for him to play, he's going to play. But if they don't go with J-Joe, Johnny, and you have Sharice Wright coming back, that'll be good.
That's good.
Kareem can slide over to corner.
Yep.
I don't know if Aaron Colvin's going to play. He's been limited this week. That's going to be tough.
He's questionable.
Yeah, I think you're with me on this. You get through this one. Somehow, someway, get through this game and come out ahead, get the victory, and then you get the bye. Then you get Washington, and Washington's tough, and that's why you want to get everybody back. You're getting a lot of people back after this one. That was my point.
Yeah, so it's not as if you say, well, we can rest all these guys and go win. It's like a preseason game, obviously.
Yeah.
But with the guys you have banged up, they're, like J-Joe, for instance. His injury apparently was a 2 to 3 week thing. So if he plays, are you then changing that timeline?
Yeah, you're risking more.
So I don't know. I'm with you on that. I would be surprised if we saw a few guys. But one other guy that can also play corner is Demaryius Thomas, who had to come into the Miami game. So now he's actually got some advanced work. He actually got a whole week of work at corner. I would imagine that he got it with the guys banged up and guys limited in practice. So I'm sure he got a lot of work at corner this week. Whereas the weeks before, I would imagine he didn't get a ton of work at corner.
Right.
And they got thrown into the fire against Miami, made some plays, as Coach O'Brien said, made some plays, missed some plays, played like a rookie in some sense.
I think they'll be ready for anything. And Denver, by the way, is no pushover. It's not like you're playing the Raiders on Sunday, okay? Let's not get into that.
Watch the Raiders. Hear the Raiders defense. That's what they did.
Let's get to Reginald's question. Reginald would like to know, is Will Fuller out for the season? Yes, he is.
Sadly, yes.
Yes. ACL out for the year. We'll see you in maybe OTAs or training camp for sure at the latest. And it's going to be great to get Will back, but that's why they made the trade for Demaryius Thomas this week. Justin, we get our weekly Deontay Foreman question brought to you by RTIC. And Justin wants to know any word on Deontay Foreman. Look, I think that now we're at the bye. I think maybe you see Deontay Foreman coming up in the next couple of weeks out at the practice field, and then they'll take it from there.
Yeah, I think they've got a 21-day window once they activate him or take him off of the PUP and put him on. They've got a 3-week window to decide what to do with him at that particular moment. So 3 weeks, this is week 9, right? Week 9?
Yeah.
It's week 9.
Yeah, 5 and 3.
So
week 9.
3 weeks, I mean, who knows? Now, it can be less than 21 days, but you can get him to work out and get him to practice for a week and then go, okay, he's ready. You can get him out there for a day and go, oh, he's ready. You can get him out there for 20 days and go, okay, he's finally ready. So look, nobody knows exactly when that will happen, but I think we're getting closer to seeing him than not, if that makes sense.
Well, clearly it's going to be great to have him, even if it's for 5-6 games. I mean, you want Deontay Foreman on that field making plays as you get into the stretch run of the season to have those. I can't call them totally fresh legs because he's getting over an Achilles injury, but that's going to be a big boost for your offense when he gets out there. All right, Tony wants to know, where's Deepy? Where's Deepy? I don't know. Deepy's not here anywhere. Deepy!
I don't know.
Sorry that Deepy's not with us today. She's in the building somewhere, so she's always working, writing. Read her stuff on HoustonTexans.com. There you go. Javier wants to know, or you can see her Tuesday night at Fuddruckers in Stafford for the Fuddruckers Texans Players Show. And since it's the bye week, we have an ambassador type person. It's going to be Andre Ware. Yeah, Andre Ware at Fuddruckers. He's our guest. You were surprised to hear that, weren't you?
No, I was. I love it.
But now you're jelly.
I love it.
He's jelly. That's what it is.
I'm absolutely jelly.
Okay.
Oh, to that end, you can also hear DP Sidhu with their Deep Slant interview of the week on All Access tonight with me, with Jordan Thomas.
We're a promotion machine.
That's where DP is.
Javier, any concern with the altitude in Deshaun Watson? That's a great question. Has Bill O'Brien been asked that this week?
Yeah, he has early on. In fact, it's funny because when we found out he took the bus, that was my first thought was not even flying to Denver.
Yeah,
but
being in
man,
Denver.
can he play with the altitude? Because we've seen players over the years not be able to play in Denver. I think Ryan Clark, if I remember correctly, was one of them. He couldn't play, and I can't remember what it was. I try to remember what it was.
He had some sort of blood condition or something. That wasn't what Watson has, of course, but there was something about the altitude in Denver that prevented him from playing.
Right.
Well, I think Deshaun, I mean, clearly
I think he's okay.
He'll be out there.
The biggest thing about flying is
air pressure.
They say 2 to 3 weeks after the injury. So if the injury occurred against Dallas, that was, week 5? We're all the way to week 9. So apparently he could have flown last weekend. I don't know if he did, but he could have flown last weekend. So flying is not an issue. Now, playing in the altitude, I don't know. I think the altitude is going to affect everybody. It affects everybody differently. I know it affects me sleeping.
Hydrate.
Yeah, hydration is the biggest
And you
thing.
hydrate at
That's
home.
what they tell you.
Hydrate in spirit with us.
Yeah.
Okay, how about Joshua? What are the keys to slowing down Von Miller?
Can we lock him in his hotel room before?
Yes. Are you allowed to use weapons on the field? Is that frowned upon? Like the last Boy Scout. That's not a good thing. Don't even mention that movie. But what? I mean,
I love that movie. It's great.
Von is tremendous. Von is the most sacks in the league since he entered the league in 2011. Watt had 5 his rookie year. Look, they're like this. I mean, Von Miller and J.J. Watt are 2 of the premier pass rushers in this league. They'll be on the field at the same time, obviously not going against each other. But I think when you're trying to slow down somebody like that, correct me if I'm wrong, you chip them, you bring extra help on occasion, but then you have Bradley Chubb, the rookie on the other side. He has 7 sacks. He's doing really well.
There's a piece of mic'd up from Thursday night where J.J. Watt comes over to the sideline, and he's talking to Anthony Weaver. And he's like, he's kind of exasperated. He's like, they will not let me go one-on-one. I'm getting double-teamed every single time. Like, he's getting sort of agitated, and you're like, yeah, you're J.J. Watt. That's got to be the way
you're wearing number
approach.
99, and that's why they're doing it.
Yeah, you got to approach Von Miller the same way. You can't – Coach O'Brien's talked about this. You can't allow Von Miller to wreck the game. Now, you're not going to have double teams or chips every single time with Von Miller because you got Bradley Chubb on the other side.
Right.
But I think one of the other things that you can do is you run the ball at those guys. Run it at those guys. If you run away from Von Miller, he'll track it down. But if you run at him now – even if he stops it for a yard or 2 or even no gain at that point, because he's going to make plays against the run, but eventually you start to wear him down a little bit.
Yeah.
And
please,
you hope it's going to wear him down. I mean, those are some of the things you can try to do, but tight ends, double teams, chips, every time he's rushing, if you just make him think about that, if it slows him down just a little bit. And the one other thing we talk about that has nothing really to do with just get the ball out quickly.
Yeah.
If you run the ball well and you get the ball out quickly, then you got an opportunity to limit the damage that he can
I'd be surprised if that's not the game plan. All right? You got to do something like that. Brian, which players could come back after the bye week? Well, we hinted on that. I mean, guys you're going to watch out for. I'm not saying they're definitely back, but Aaron Colvin, anybody who misses this one is listed as questionable for the game. Like you mentioned, Zach Cunningham's the only one listed as out for this one. And, boy, you could really use him back because you're thinning out an inside linebacker with Dylan Cole already out. He's been working out on a side field, by the way. I'd love to see him come back soon.
Man.
He's on IR. And then, obviously, Cunningham, like we mentioned, Colvin. Maybe if J-Joe misses this one, I would expect he would play since he was limited in practice this week against Washington in a couple of weeks. So let's hope for that. And who else am I missing here coming off IR possibly?
Well, that's the other thing, too. Potentially Deontay Foreman coming back.
That's
and then
PUP.
With IR, you can bring back 2 guys. And so in the last 7 weeks of the year,
you
think
decide
about bringing back a couple of guys. Maybe I think one is Dylan Cole. Kevin Johnson's on IR.
Yep.
You've got Kayvon Webster on IR.
Oh, you do.
So you've got a few corners that you have on IR
and Colvin's not on IR.
Colvin's not. No.
Yeah, so that's good.
Exactly.
Well, I hope you'd love to bring Kevin Johnson back. You're worried about the concussions, but if he's cleared to come back, he's got to come back and play. This is his job. All right, Philip, how will the Texans use Demaryius Thomas on Sunday? It's an excellent question, Philip. It's a great question, and I think the answer is in Bill O'Brien's office. So let's go check it out. No, actually, we can't do that right now. But
now, we do that every day.
Yeah, we'll just do it later. So I believe that my thought, I don't know where you are on this, but there's going to be a healthy arrangement with Demaryius Thomas as far as amount of plays he can participate in. You brought up the great point of being able to sort of call stuff on the fly at Tennessee last year when they were so thinned out at wide receiver. Yeah. They've got a full week to get ready. Well, full. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday to get ready for this thing. He's a total pro. He won't be in there for the majority of plays, but he'll get a big chunk of plays in this game.
Well, I thought, speak of the devil, Andre Ware, when Dre was on with you on Wednesday, I thought he made a really salient point, and that was, look, if you're not going up tempo, you can just get in a huddle and tell him, call the play, whatever the play might be, and then tell him where he lines up and say, hey, your route is this.
Right.
Your route is this.
And he'll run it correctly because he knows what it is.
Exactly.
It's not like he's a rookie or a guy who can't run routes.
Look, we all remember that game against Tennessee last year where Will was already out of the game. Both the tight ends had gotten hurt in the game. CJ and Ryan both got hurt during the game. Braxton Miller got knocked out on a punt return. So what you had at receiver was Hop. You had Chris Thompson. You had Andre Ellington, and you had Steven Anderson. That was your receiving core for the rest of the game.
Andre Ellington's a running back, and Steven Anderson's a tight end.
And Andre had just gotten there. Andre had been there maybe a week, if that.
So they're telling him to run slants and stuff.
He would stand by Hop, and he would look at Hop. Hop would get the play, and he would tell him what to run.
I mean, does he even know the routes? He's like,
Yeah. And so Andre, that was Andre's point. He's like, look, he knows enough of various route trees, and there's some things in the terminology. He can just stand in a huddle. Deshaun could tell him, hey, line up at Z, run this route. If you get this, run this. There are going to be some of those things.
But you know what's harder, Johnny? The dipsy-doodle, flippity-flop stuff that Bill O'Brien likes to do. Those are football terms, ladies and gentlemen, where you have all the motion and jet sweep stuff and everything. That might be a little tougher. Shout-outs. Let's get to them. Alfred in Lubbock. Beautiful Lubbock. Lovely this time of year. Hello, Alfred. Philip in Pennsylvania. Beautiful this time of year, and God bless Pittsburgh.
Yes.
Chewy from Monterrey, Mexico. All our friends in Monterrey. It happened in Monterrey. I don't have to go into the whole song. Sinatra, right?
All right, good luck with this next city.
Anthony in a part of Cambodia. I'm not going to name the name of the city because I'm afraid I'll mispronounce it, but in Cambodia. People vacation in Cambodia and Vietnam. It's not like it was in the 60s. Not a very popular vacation spot in the 60s and 70s. Now much better. Great to have you listening and watching, Anthony. And we've got, as Johnny said, Texans All Access tonight at 6. We've got Texans Buzz tomorrow, late night after the news. We have Texans Extra Points, 6:30 tomorrow on ABC 13, both those shows. On Sunday morning, check out Texans Game Day on KPRC Local 2. 8:30 a.m. And, of course, the game, 3:05 kick later day, so you get to go to church. Go to church, pray for – no, I'm not going to tell you what to pray for. But let's hope for a great weekend as the Texans look for 6 in a row, right?
You got it. Let's do it. 6 in a row before the bye would be nice.
Very nice indeed. And we'll be back next week with another RTIC Cooler Talk. Have a great day, and go Texans.